I am going to set this up. Turn that volume down too. Software update tonight. Nope. I gotta take this Bluetooth out. Give me a second. Anybody? Yeah, you don't want to see that. That looks boring. I'm only going to Sweetwater just because. Actually, let's not do that. Let's go to. So I'm just setting up real quick. There we go. Now I can see the chat. I had to set that up. So I'm looking at gear and thinking about it. Let me close my door. Give me 1 second. Gear doesn't always necessarily mean that you're going to make better music. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Doesn't mean you're going to make better music or more music. Inspiration can come from various sources, depending on what you're inspired to do. And a lot of times with gear, I find that I'm not inspired to use it or to make music on it. Now, I do like having a keyboard. So I was thinking about more portability stuff. Now, I will say I am getting the P6. I decided, oops, guess I should spell it right? Why am I even on Zounds? I don't even use Zounds. No offense to Zounds, but they kind of did me wrong, so I don't really want to mess with them. I'll tell you about that in just a second here. Let me get to. Now, if you don't know, the Zounds and AmericanMusical.com all use the same warehouse. They pull from the same warehouses to ship you stuff. So it doesn't matter which one you choose to use. In the end, you're pulling from the same warehouse. But here's what's funny. Zounds told me that because I returned some gear or a lot of gear, that they don't want to let me buy from them. So because they think that I returned it too much. Now I am in some places known as the return king. But here's the thing. I don't know if you guys, how many of you remember? Oh, what's up, Spacely? What's up, SimCity? Yeah, so back in the day, they used to be gear in stores, right? You could go in the store and play with the gear and get a feel for it. And then you could take it home. And then if you didn't like it, you just returned it to the store. It wasn't a big deal. And then they would just sell it like an open box. Well, now companies are getting to the point where they don't want to do that no more. They would prefer you to just keep the gear or sell it off to somebody else if that's what you want to do. So for me, that's fine. I don't mind that. But if I'm within my return policy, I want to be able to return it if I get it and I don't like it. The whole idea is to try it before you commit yourself to paying $1,000 for an item or whatever you're paying for the item. So this item here, the P6, is affordable. I talked about it on the previous thing. Now, hopefully, I'm going to try my best. I forgot to do this again to set the phone where it doesn't get interrupted. So if it gets interrupted, it'll kill the stream, unfortunately. But anyway, this little item, this price, this is nothing to me as far as expensive. This is solid. This kind of price is affordable. When you start looking at stuff where it's like $1,000, then you got to ask yourself, do you want to pay that kind of money for something? Are you going to use it enough? So the MPC 37, this price is not bad for what you get. I mean, you're getting the keyboard, you're getting the pads, you're getting the whole MPC software system. It's a sampler, it's a workstation. It's kind of a little bit of all of that. It's a production keyboard, they call it. And so that's not a bad price for what you get. It actually works really well. So I'm talking about this gear not because you need to go buy it, but just because these are the pieces that I choose to use, and understanding why or what the gear can bring to you or whether you're going to use the gear is an important part of buying gear. I don't think you should go out and buy everything. I don't think everything is going to make you want to use it more. What's up, blatantly blatant? Weaver Beats said I was a Weaver Beats said I was a troll. Uh, Sim City Salute. What's up? Yeah. Um, so if you choose to buy gear, just make sure you kind of like what you're getting into. Do a lot of research, watch a lot of YouTube videos, ask a lot of questions before you order, because these companies like American Music Supply, musical.com, or we know them as American Music Supply, AMS, and Zounds are locking down now on people that buy gear from them and want to return it. They don't want you to buy and try the gear out. They want you to buy it knowing that you just want to keep it and go with it. So just keep that in mind when you choose to buy gear. Some people are gear hoarders. They basically buy everything they buy. They're gonna keep it. They're gonna use it. I'm not that person. I'm a minimalist. And as a minimalist, I will tend to, which is part of the reason why I think I use the DAW more than I use hardware. Just because with a DAW, I can get as many different plugins as I want, and I'm not strapped to using the same old thing every time I make music. And I also have a tendency to switch up and want something different from time to time. With gear, buying gear like this, you'll go broke quick. If you aren't already broke, you'll really go broke. So I'm looking at this IRA, I think is how they pronounce it, line of instruments that they've come out with from Roland. And there's one that outside of this one that I'm definitely going to have or going to get. The S1 looks kind of interesting to me. The most unneeded thing too, by the way, S1. Let me see. Maybe it just goes S1 like that. Let's try it. So I was trying to see if they have. Yeah, there you go. It's a polyphonic synth. Do you really need this type of thing? Not really, but if you're looking for some type of hardware that's affordable, this thing is pretty affordable. 206 bucks basically. It's got like a little piano roll there. It's loaded with stuff, LFOs, oscillators. If you need this type of thing, otherwise, if you have an iPad or an iPhone, I'd say use that for right now. If you want to stay away from the gear, but if you want the gear and you want something like that, the physical, tactile feel of something, then these type of instruments are super affordable. For the price of what you buy, other stuff you can almost buy. You could buy this one and the sampler, and have two pieces. Don't they have a synthesizer that sends MIDI and audio USB-C? Well, this is the synthesizer that I know of, the small one. I'm only talking about the compact one, but they do have other synthesizers and things. Yeah, Roland has other stuff. I mean, they have the MC101 that you can use, the MC707. That one's kind of big. The 101 is more portable, but I don't hear great things about the 101. Most people that have it don't keep it, don't use it. Is the 101, is that a Roland thing? Yeah, that's a Roland thing. This one interests me a little bit more. You got your different waveforms. If I was gonna look for something portable, but you got to make sure you're okay with what this is. I don't really need this at all. Like I don't think that's the one thing about using a DAW is you don't need a lot of gear to make it work. Yeah, it's a small one. I know most you need a headphone jack for audio. Yeah, there is the MC101 actually has let me look here. Yeah, so see right here, this is your power, but this is a battery operated thing too. So you can charge it up. I think it's like a 3 to 4 hour charge, and you can see you have USB-C and MIDI in, and the USB-C runs through or the MIDI rather runs through the USB-C also. So what's cool is you can link this up with um, the other one, which is the one I was just talking about, the sampler, the new one, the P6. And so you could use this and have your synthesizer as well as your sampler all in one, and then put Koala with it, and you got a whole nother thing. And so the one you're talking about, if they still sell it, is the MC101, I believe. Let's look at that one. So see the MC101, and then you can find open boxes if you don't mind on mine. But this one can do a little sample. It has the SD card. Um, you get 4 tracks. It's a 4-track basically. Yes, network. So it's a if they have one of those, that's what I want. Behringer Pro. Oh yeah, the Behringer Pro. Yes, I know that one. Mini and the Micro Freak. I had the Micro Freak. The problem with the Micro Freak is, from my recollection of having it for a few days, trying it out, you have to plug it in. It's not battery powered or anything like that. So you have to be willing to use a wall charger for that. I'll tell you this though, the what is it called? The AMS Hydrosynth Explorer is really fun. And it's got a random button. I had it for a little while. If you go back and look at some of my previous videos from about a year or two ago, I actually had one. And if you want a keyboard that can do press the random button and come up with random sounds, it's really fun. You can also sound design in it. And it's a FM to, I think, synth, if I'm not mistaken. But it's really nice. This little thing here, what people don't know is it has the here, let me show you. On the back, not only do you have the, there it is, the SD card slot, but you also have MIDI in and out. You can put a Bluetooth MIDI joint right in here, and then you can just use a Bluetooth keyboard to control, to play these instruments. Now, what I didn't like about this, and I'm being, oh, and it takes 4 batteries too, by the way. What I didn't like about this thing was the bass in it was terrible. It's got all the standard drums and stuff that you get from a Roland device, but I didn't care for anything else. I don't want to play a video. I didn't care for anything else in it. And the sounds are real basic. They're just your standard Roland stuff. I prefer, and then you got a menu dive on it too, a lot. If you don't want a menu dive, I wouldn't go with that, just because I already know that it's a menu diving thing. Whereas this one, you see pretty much everything is right on the front that you have, and you can just, and there's some, of course, there's shift, everything on Roland has shift something for motion, arpeggiators, and stuff like that. But I'm looking for something, which one I'm really looking at that let me see, how would I find this? Oh, Sonicware makes it. I don't think Sonicware is, do they sell Sonicware on this? Let me see. It's probably the most unnecessary software. No, it's not on here. I will go back to like a Yahoo or something, search engine and look it up. Oops. Sonicware. Sonicware makes the Lo-Fi. This one, the Lo-Fi 12XT. This is the one I was going to talk about. The ambient one that they make, which you can do other stuff with it. This thing is $239. It's a soundscape synthesizer. And you can pre-order right now for $239. I honestly, if I was going to get something that I could create like drones, pads, atmosphere, noises, and stuff like that, this one really interests me a lot. And it looks like they're doing a 9th batch. Will start on November the 15th shipping. So you could pre-order now and get it by November. I mean, for $239, it's not bad at all. Hey, what's up, Ali Star? Good to see you. Yeah, Ali Star. I have to say, Ali Star, shout out you. You really sold me on the P6, because I was like, I don't really need it. And then I saw your videos on the P6 and I was like, okay, I might not need it, but I sure want it. So yeah, between you and DiBiase making stuff on it, I think that kind of moved me. So shout out to you. You don't need it either. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I don't need it. I think but you know what? I could probably do it in the MPC, but one of the things with the MPC is I don't like using the instruments in it too much. I thought about, and the sample rate, if they would just start adding in the sample rate feature to, like, if they added it to the SP, I would probably get an SP again. But if they add that kind of stuff into these samplers, like, they should all have the ability to change the sample rate, that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't be doing stuff like I'm doing without it. That is true. There's that's the thing, is like, if the piece of gear inspires you to make music that you enjoy making, and it brings you some joy in doing it, then it's probably a good piece of gear for you. But if it doesn't, then you probably shouldn't buy it, because it's gonna become a paperweight. That's what it becomes for you if you don't really use it. So this thing here just interests me primarily because I'm really into like the soundscaping, the drones, the pads. Now, can you do this in the MPC? Yeah, I've heard. Um, what's his name does it? SimCity does it. He knows how to work it. SimCity to get this, to get the drones and the ambient sounds. For me, I'm not good at sound designing, and I mean turning like a bunch of knobs, that's cool and all, but I'm just not that guy. So I would hope something like this, where you kind of have that already, and then you just kind of shape it a little bit, would be more of a draw. Of course, it has that same 4 character type screen up here. Not that I'm worried about the screen as much as the sound, but I'm looking forward to seeing some more videos, see what people make with this thing, and I think that's pretty cool. Um, Kai instruments are okay when you filter them. Yeah, when you filter them, that's funny. Yeah, you got to filter it with something. If you don't sound design and you try to get on Akai stuff, it's gonna sound. They sound basic to me. Here's some of the stuff that this instrument has: the immersive ambient generator. That's huge. 4 layers of tone, so you could stack the layers and merge them. 8 seconds. Noise layer processes 8 second stereo sampling loops with noise blended and pitch modulation. So, could you make this stuff in like a DAW? Absolutely. But if you're trying to get away from a DAW and want some hardware type of workflow, this is a good option to take on. For me, I like this a lot, the whole thing. So let's see here. It's got a random playback of sequence phrases. There's a probability of dice, or probability of notes rather, sounding can be set to 20. So a lot of probability. I love that. 64-step sequencer. I mean, for the cost, this is kind of where I would want to go. Um, just because it has what I'm looking for, and I think I might actually end up uh, going this route. I'm really tempted. Let's see what else. Don't need it, but it seems necessary. Yeah, a lot of stuff you don't need. You could just do everything in the DAW and be fine. What about the Chroma console? So here I'll pull up. The only place, I mean, I don't go to their website to look at it because it's going to be the same price. They sell it on Reverb if you go to Reverb. So Chroma. And yes, the Chroma console I hear is wonderful. I know a person who has it. Um, and this is it from them when it says brand new and it's from their store. Let me see. Right here. Yeah, see, Hologram Electronics is selling this. So it's $3.99, $12 shipping. So basically it's like 411 bucks plus with tax. It's expensive. But I hear that if you get it, it can be like your analog heat. You know those electron analog heat thing? There's a person I know who has both this and that. And they said if they had to have just one, they would go with this. So it can take that digital sound and kind of warm it up a little bit, give it a little saturation, and really color your sound a little more. So I've seen recently, I think it was Bolo and a couple other people talk about using this thing in their into their MPC, which I think is probably a good thing if you got the MPC and you really like your MPC, or even the SP, trying to run this thing in and color your samples or to manipulate and mangle the samples might be a good thing. Yeah, good if you don't have any effect. Yeah, if you don't have any effects, I could understand. I mean, I have all the effects in box or in a like DAW, but yeah, I don't have any. Yeah, I think we're stuck. We'll end the stream here. I'll restart it and I'll fix that problem real quick. 1 second.